You're on.
Oh, no, we're not going back up.
Oh, okay.
We already got to that part. All right, so then we will finish off with the discussion of improvement to the outdoor leadership center on the school trust land.
That is it, it's agendized, discuss, approve. You guys already gave us the green light to move forward. Our place to move forward with it was, the 3 acres. But there was a request that, hey, maybe we hold off and have further discussions, so I think that's what we, have done
Right.
and are doing today. So we just need some direction, so it gives us some guidance on what to do moving forward. I don't know if we want, I did have a question, the one, you guys have mentioned, like, if we go with starting to develop the original 3 acres, it would infringe upon the sculpture park activities. I've heard primarily, for aesthetic reasons,
I'm just, people, there's a ton of people always moving around in that area.
okay,
So I'll just reiterate one more time. If we, today, I think we would be having the conversation with, that's not the best place to put it, and we probably would have thought about it differently, at this point.
Do you guys think that you would use it? Cause I know that was part of the conversation when we were standing out there, that maybe you guys would do like concerts because it's close to the TV burner. Is that something that you, if we did build there and had that outdoor seating or however they plan it for an
Yeah.
outdoor classroom?
I don't think it's big enough for what, I mean, guess if it was gonna rain or something, we could get underneath it, but I don't think that it would be big enough to accommodate that kind of thing. It certainly would accommodate, if we were having, the school should sanction things and during the residency, it might work, for the kids, but, we have picnic tables and we put them all underneath there, all that kind of stuff. One other thing I wanted to say is in that where we have our Connex, that would also be a place, we talked about putting one and then using our Connex for the other side of the wall, or a wall, let's say. If you would consider even that place for the 2 Connexes with your covered space, covered area. In that area, then you would not only have, we'd have the cement pad for working on, it would all be right there. And I don't think there would have to be much done. So it's just another option. I should have probably said something when we were there, but since it's already developed, maybe that's option 47.
What do you think, Derek? Do you see that working? Cause I guess for me, I'm looking at it like what works for you guys, because you will be the ones using it the most as far as, or even building it, what you see it being longevity wise, what do you see working as the best option?
So, for using that, okay, so the first spot we went to, the original mapped out spot, if we use that in the wintertime, that has the best sunlight, so it's gonna probably be the best spot to hang out, when it's cold outside. Those other spots were all in the shade, the way the sun tracks, it's super low in the sky, everybody knows that. On the other hand, for the sculpture park folks, they could use it as like maybe the backdrop for their stage type of thing. Have like a little area, covered area for their artists and their singers and stuff, and still have access to that whole meadow. honestly, I think it's the spot that's been chosen ever since the beginning because it's a really good spot. To put 100 kids over there, that'd be the easiest spot to do it. Any other spot is either in the trees, too much vegetation, just too many hiding spots, pretty much. It's got great access. I mean, the road plowing in the winter, it's just another couple minutes for the skid steer to push snow a little bit further. You know, we get charged by the hour anyway, so if, as long as you can get from the beginning to the back within an hour, it all costs the same. Yeah, I think overall it's just the best spot, at least for us.
The better location
Could-
closer to the gate, we have clear.
Yeah.
To pile snow.
I guess I have one more request. If you do choose the meadow where it has been staked out, is it possible to put that just a little farther back, closer to the boundary between us and Sampson? Instead of right out there, just kind of put it back,
Oh, not so it's right on the 2-track right there?
correct,
Okay.
Like on the fence.
Yeah, and, Derek and I had gone back and forth. I didn't know, I know the setback on private property in Bonner County in North Idaho
10 feet,
is 15 feet.
yeah, it's
And,
10.
and so, you know, we were just playing, keeping it off there. But absolutely, we wanted it up against there as far as we could, so we utilized the most space out in front.
Okay.
So-
That would just be a consideration that we would ask for.
And, yeah, so, that 2-track wouldn't be right on top of it, I absolutely agree.
And like I said over there, we plan on making this, you know, dark green. It's not gonna stand out, it's not gonna be a big old ugly excavator with graffiti on it. They're one-time use, so they go from China to America once across the ocean. So they're basically brand new. It's not, you know, I take pride in my work, I'm not gonna make something that's ugly. We could add some artistic factors to it. Make it blend in a little bit, you know, but I just think in the overall, it's gonna be a great spot.
So are we getting away from the skinning it with wood, cause that was my idea?
I had never heard that before.
Nancy did say, you know, that, I think the options on how to surround it, I mean, I think we can,
I wouldn't put holes in it.
Yeah,
Best
that's
we can. Wood degrades over time, that's more maintenance. But that's, I guess up to you, it's up to the board and superintendent.
I got a little bit relevant, but a little bit not. You guys had mentioned about possibly putting another permanent outhouse in that other corner by the parking lot. And it kind of made me think, what is your guys', like, we have a 3-year agreement. What's your 3-year, like, plan? What do you have any, because you've asked us a lot what we're thinking for the next while. What is your guys' thoughts? Like, do you guys have any plans or ideas like that? Because that was the first time I'd heard of an outhouse on that side. So, in the next 3 years, do you have any plans of doing anything overall on the whole property?
Well, we are going to move at, business as usual.
Right, yeah.
And we've thought about a toilet there just because for 4 or 5 months a year, we have to have the 2 toilets already there. Porta potties, sorry.
But
And-
I guess what I'm asking, is that like in the 3-year plan, or is that in the next 10 years maybe?
Oh, we don't have a 3-year plan. We've got, we're in the works. We're used to having a longer term plan. And so we're kind of scrambling what our 3-year plan is going to be like in fundraising and moving forward, because it's a little
Lot less time than
difficult,
you're used to. Yeah.
but we're going to keep moving forward. So that toilet, we'll have to fundraise for it, and a couple,
Kind of,
right, a
at
couple
the
grants.
moment, you don't have anything like we have this Connex plan, you know, you guys don't have anything like that.
No, this is just
Just-
for people that start at the parking lot and they get way back here and they go, I gotta pee.
But we don't have a plan.
We
in
don't
place
have a
right
plan
No,
to dig
no.
a toilet.
Oh, no, no,
in
no,
the
no,
next
oh, I'm
3
sorry,
years.
I'm
We were
sorry.
merely open to
I wasn't
accommodating that
listening to
need
you,
the school
Billy, and
has.
that's pretty typical some days for me.
Erin back there answering my question with her head, I got.
Thank you, girls.
But that does make a point, you know, shifting to a 3-year agreement is really challenging for us as an organization. But our plans are to, I mean, we took down the bat houses, we mentioned that other place is a place on that, corner. Is probably also another one to come down. There's probably a few that will be coming down on the DNRC parcel. We have our installations that we're talking to artists about right now, we have urged them to find places on the Forest Service area.
So even the new sculptures coming in are gonna most likely be.
On that new-
Oh yeah, the
Most
sites
likely.
that have been, they haven't been finally approved yet, but the sites that have been proposed have been on the Forest Service side, and we have not entertained proposals on the DNRC side, which is what we shared with you all over the course of our MOU negotiations, right? That we realized there's an increased desire on the part of the school to change or increase your use, and so we're business as usual, and our desire is to just have a lot of open communication about the future. If we were going to be doing anything, I mean, even that like concert concept is, that is not a plan either, right?
But
So-
it does give us an idea, like, hey, that's something you guys have talked about. that
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
wanna
Yeah.
be courteous to know what, if you guys are gonna,
yeah, thank
we
you.
don't wanna, you know,
Right, yeah.
like, we're trying to work with you, okay, so.
Okay.
Sorry, like I said, that was a little detour, but.
Any more discussion?
How do you feel about the options? I felt like the question was directed to both of you, I didn't know if you got a chance to.
I guess ease of use, you know, just getting stuff in and out, is certainly a concern. I brought up already, you know, just the ability for me to access this stuff year round. I guess just personally I'm concerned, cause I do take students over to the sculpture park frequently. And sometimes it's groomed. And I don't wanna be the jerk that plows up your groomed trails. I don't know how often that happens.
In the winter, when we have snow, it happens regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is, you know, just something to, and I mean, I can try to think, you know, it's a different kind of planning, you know,
Yeah.
it's not I've got an hour prep, I can run out and grab gear, it's, you know what I mean, if I need to think through some of these things, and, you know, it's certainly adaptable. I mean, obviously something to consider is, you know, I mean, I'm kind of planning this, but this may not be me in the future, you know, like, that's also something to consider. What happens if the outdoor club does dissolve? What happens if I do go away? Like, you know, like, I mean, these are all things to think about, and consider. It's a big investment, you know, I mean, I run on a shoestring budget, and we've squirreled away a lot of money over the years, and it's a big investment that is taking away from programming dollars, you know, and grants are getting tougher to get, you know. Some of the ones that have always funded me have not funded me in the last few years, so I guess whatever I would purchase, it's huge, you know, and it's kind of this, kind of like, do it and grow or stop. You know, one of the things that the outdoor club has, and it hasn't come up in the last couple of years, and that's our skating rink, you know, and that saddens me that equipment is there, and for the last few years it hasn't been put up for various reasons. If that is one of the things that I will be storing, you know, thinking out loud is, now I'm loading that up to haul that back. It's traditionally been on the football field, and, you know, there's just a lot of kind of moving parts and considerations to make, I guess, for that. I hate to see equipment sit there and dry rot and not be utilized by kids. It's for kids. It was purchased to be used for kids. In the last couple of years, that bothers me that sat there and been underutilized. When we initially brought this to the board a few months ago, you know, I had envisioned in my mind a wooden clad structure that looked beautiful and blended in with the landscape and you know, and there's other people involved that have very different thoughts, and I guess, for the first time ever, I'm starting to have pause. There's almost too many hands in the cookie jar determining some of this stuff, and it kind of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's been a lot of things that have been brought up that are kind of getting a little bit out of my control, a little bit out of my hands, and it's making me a little bit nervous, to be totally honest. I'm concerned about the maintenance. I'm concerned about, you know, different ideas, you know, non-skinned, skinned, like it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when I met with these guys 3 months ago in this board meeting, we talked about a wood clad structure, and now it's a metal, and there's just a lot of changes. So, I don't know.
So what's your favorite choice of the A, B, C, and D?
Made it really stick
To be honest, yeah, thanks Annette, really, just grill me. This is a bad experience. It's like you're almost making a deal with the devil no matter what decision you make. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
yeah,
if I go to
selfish
Lambkin's,
choice, yeah.
PSW has said, okay, great, we'd love to have you on board, you have to help us with maintenance. Okay,
Sure. Well,
what does
because-
that mean?
Yeah, because that deal isn't complete yet.
Oh,
We
no.
just started.
That we just started that conversation, and
Yeah.
they're already like,
Gu-
ooh.
Guys, can we kind of bring this back? We really have I have one recommendation. This is to start the development, start with an original Connex. Putting the Connex here on campus or on our easement property is the only consideration that we should be having at this point. Yeah, Nancy, at graduation, you know, kind of about, oh, that'd be an alternative. We're talking about a whole relationship with a whole nother entity, liability concerns, you know, oh, great today, not great tomorrow. We have this place and we have that place, which are ours. So if we can bring it back to, that I get it, like what it would look like, you know, everything with that. That's really a proposal thing that, you know, Derek brings up some good things. I've owned a shipping container and I put windows in it. Great idea, I thought. No, they leaked that. Okay, so, you know, I get that. I like the wood sided, you know, considering way down the road. It's we are, you know, the outdoor club is Nancy's oversight. It's her baby. She's done a great job. But the football team is not Peyton Peterson's. It's the schools. So it's just like, what is our best to serve our kids, to work with our community? You know, I think that's what we have to focus on. Now, we did have the green light. We were asked to pause. I need to know if we still have the green light. I agree with Derek. It's the original set aside. I appreciate a lot of the considerations. I do like a clearing that is, we could take 100 kids there and I could still see them, you know, in that immediate area. And so then, you know, the third reason would, any other place would, if we wanted to consider a clearing. The only clearing that I think even comes close to it is where, you know, this House of Sky is. I think that's, in my opinion, that's the second best clearing, which works for us. And then, but the fourth is, and to me, this is why I always have to come back to it, is the absolute necessity for us to consider facilities for our students long-term. And that is in a place where if we establish it, I agree with Annette, moving a shipping container is not difficult. Moving possibly two with trusses becomes a whole nother, you know, that would be fairly labor intensive. So putting it in a place where no matter what we do to this campus, and we'll be putting more effort into looking at those strategies, we have to do something regarding our facilities, and that would be putting it into place. Regardless of what we do to upgrade these facilities, our kids in this community still don't have a gym. They don't. They have a glorified multi-purpose room. So to look at, I think the most pragmatic way to look at it would be a multi-phased, phasing in a facility to look at. So, sorry, I think we're getting really kind of buried down the road in how we decorate it versus,
Right.
do we have the green light to put it there, or are we gonna explore other areas? If that's the case, then, hey, we'll go get a shipping container tomorrow and put it someplace on campus, start moving stuff.
So I guess I got two kind of logistical questions. First one is for Derek. What is your time frame on getting this built? Like, is it gonna be a month project? Is it gonna take all summer?
Well, so I will be gone for 2 weeks because of my schooling, in June. That's gonna put a damper on it, but I could start breaking ground tomorrow if we get the okay. I have calls out for dirt to come in and fill dirt and then get that leveled out and then bring some road mix over the top and make it look good.
My second question, I guess, is more towards the teachers, and I'll include you in that. What does it look like when you have kids over there? Like, that has been one of my big things, is the safety and well-being of the kids while they're over there. And I have what I imagine having 20, 30, 100 kids running around over there. You guys have the experience of doing that. What does that look like?
As long as you have adults as well, I can talk about elementary. As long as you have adults with them, you have never had a problem.
I always take much smaller classes and not an issue at all.
Well, I've been over there with the ski patrol and ski stuff, and they get spread out. Mostly with the elementary kids. I used to go over there a lot because a lot of the other teachers couldn't, so I would go over and ski with them. And sometimes, you got a kid wandering off, and they get back behind some bushes or trees, and you don't see them for a minute, and then they pop up again. And that's in the wintertime. That's on skis. So if we're over there all year round.
When we have school groups come, we ask for there to be one adult for every 5 kids.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to figure out how what I'm trying to get at. Okay. Think that.
Is there a certain area you're concerned about?
No. I guess like how the behavior, the interaction with the kids between the supervisors and the property, and like if we were to share a Connex with these guys, like my big thing that I seen about that, which I love the idea of sharing and only having to do half the work, but like your guys' Connex is already up off the ground. There's stuff under there. If you took, the younger kids, I know they're gonna play in the dirt under there. I have 3 little boys, and that's the first place they're gonna go. Now, what they do with me and what they do at school is also different, so as trying to get the feel of how the kids react and interact with being over there. I guess that would be a better way of putting what I'm trying to figure out. So.
Kids will be kids.
Yeah, we're not gonna,
Yeah.
the more we go over there, the more issues are gonna rise over time too. And,
Okay, well, let's move forward. So does anybody wanna make a motion on the placement of the outdoor leadership center being on the school trust land?
I make a motion to put the Connex on the school trust land.
Can I ask clarification, where on the school trust?
On the marked area, on trust land that's already
On the
marked
original
up.
3 acres?
Right.
I will second that with the stipulation that we put it in that marked area as close to the proper boundary as we can.
Okay. Any public comment on that?
appreciate that, Billy, thanks.
I guess the only comment I have on that is, as much as I like all the other options, having that extra field on the other side of that path, because not every time it's gonna be inside that, and having that bigger wide open. And in order to do that somewhere else, we gotta do a lot of work, and that place is cleared, it's simple and easy, and I think we need simple and easy right now.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried.
Hooray!
Alright, let's move on to new business.
Okay, thank you guys for,
Thank you.
Thank you.
going through all of this with us. We will hopefully continue to work together. And, we will be proud of having that there. We will treat it as our own. We will always, let the people know that come through when they ask, what is this? We say, this is an outdoor, clubs, I gotta get the term. But, and we have worked very hard with that partnership, and we will say, this is a partnership that we have with the school. So there won't be, we will never, ever, ever say anything, on the contrary, because we are, I'm glad that we worked through this, and, I'm not terribly unhappy where it's going. It wouldn't be my first choice, but again, thank you all for going through all this with us.
Thank you guys for doing the walk around, that was something that I've been wanting to do with you guys for a very
Yeah.
long time.
Thank you, I'm out of here.
What will communication around construction look like?
I'm assuming between Derek.
So Derek, are you gonna let us know kind of what the timeline and what the activities will be? Cause that would be good to be able to
Cause we've got the,
accommodate
I
whatever's
will
gonna.
not be talking directly, that'd be my super.
Yeah, Derek and I'll take what our time.
cause we
frame
have
is.
the summer program coming up.
Yeah, and I can find all your dates online, right, on your website?
Yeah, it's it starts the 21st through the 27th or
Yeah,
something
we're
like that.
absolutely gonna do zero work,
That'd be
over there
great, thank you.
when you guys
We
have
appreciate that.
I'll be gone for some of that.
Yeah, we've gotta.
So when you say timeline, you mean like just like gaps, or can we expect
we'll-
like, hey,
we'll
we're
tell
going
you-
to on what day?
Well, if
to-
we, blank slate, hey, Aaron, does it work for you guys? We're gonna have gravel delivered this day.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's 22 through 26, does it count?
okay.
Yeah, I won't be here anyway.
No, I've looked at your website and got, idea like when things are and like,
Okay, great.
how it would work with stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
is this your coat?
Oh, it sure is.
Alright.
It's either my coat or my coat.
Oh,
I got the mask.
okay.
So you want this one?
No, you keep it, you
What?
don't get it right now. Oh. Did you read that next agenda item?
Oh, sorry, discuss collective bargaining agreement for Lincoln Education Association.
Okay, well, it's 6:12, so we would have been starting 12 minutes ago. I asked for a special board meeting, and if we're done in 15 minutes next week, you'll go, why did Tom ask for a special board meeting?
I'm
Darcy
down
and,
15 minutes.
yeah, but why did you show up tonight? But, anyway, and I'm, cringe, not to bring California things to you, but, like our June board meeting in California is huge, cause it's all about the budget for the next year. You have to approve it, and Darcy goes, no, we do that in July or August, so, a little bit differently. And if we're wrong, we'll, do that. So, if, Brenna has she has this, but on the attest page, which is all the way back at page 19, she has Travis and April's signatures on that day. If you guys approve it, you guys would sign it tonight, Darcy and I will witness, and we're done. A few highlights there that I'd like to, first of all, the table of contents, pretty sure Rogan and Brooke were gone on Saturday, and I was trying to just get it so they would line up, and I couldn't figure it out, and I maybe said a couple things that I wouldn't say on a normal day.
And I go, oh, this darn Google Docs, cause I never used Google Docs until I started it up again this year. But I felt better when literally first period during Laura's tech time, she spent 40 minutes and couldn't figure it out. So your table of contents was retyped today, and the other one were pulled out. We went old school on it, and these were put in. So I'll be scanning this once you sign it. So that's a little change. Big things to pay attention to would be the language, which is a little different than Sarah and Brenna we talked about, and I got a chance to finally sit down with Travis, and it would be under leaves, and so please go to 6.5, which is pages 6 through 10, so it's on page 7. Okay, so we had talked about catastrophic leave. That was kind of a big thing for us, and I think there was a couple sticking points. And so I finally sit down and go, because we had left our negotiations, Joni was present too, and we say, the group had agreed to a catastrophic policy, getting rid of the donated leave. However, I threw out, just to have them meet and hopefully come back to me with some tweaks, is, you know, the classic one in which you had to be a member of a bank, and you know, you had to donate it, and then if you ever wanted time out of that, they got a little stuck on that. And so then I kind of sat and I go, what's really important here? And I believe it still says donated leave, but it's really a catastrophic that I'm even a member of by the language of this is, but you'd have to apply. So you'd have to go to Darcy, get the application. The application would be filled out. We'd have to convene, myself, one of you guys, and 2 association members. And if it met the 3 criteria to get donated leave, 1, you've exhausted all of your time. That's the obvious one. Number 2, it is really a catastrophic event. It's pretty darn serious. And 3, probably a little bit subjective, but you have overall a really good, you over time we have seen that you have you typically accrue time. You just don't every year just blow through it and stuff. So currently ours, so I think it's a step in the direction. Currently ours is just willy-nilly. Olivia runs out, I can give her 32 hours. Billy runs out, I can get, and by contract, that's allowed. This one makes it go through a process where it really, the 4 of us would convene, yep, we're gonna allow to do it. I can only donate to it up to 2 days, that's it. So there's a limit on it, and the 148 hours that it says there is a typical amount of time. That's the equivalent of 16 work days, and 16 work days is a typical month of work. So what I've worked at in the past is the most a catastrophic event somebody could take out of or be donated with it would be to get you an extra month of time. Question is, and I made it clear that I don't get to say it. That's a deal breaker. I would say that would be one in which we'd have to all reconvene again. It got brought up. Well, does maternity leave count? And I very clearly said no, comma, unless there's extenuating circumstances. So, and you guys can help with the medical terms. But if somebody has to go on bed rest for the last 2 months and runs through all of their accrued time, I think that's pretty catastrophic. So they have nothing on the back end. However, if you're someone who never accrues any time and there's no, verifiable extenuating circumstances, the only time you would have would be the month that's part of the current maternity leave. That would be it.
there'd be no mechanism, like, yeah, but I really like Julie, so, you know, no, it's, that would, if it was, and I don't wanna say normal pregnancy, cause I've known pregnancy. I don't wanna insult my wife is like, you didn't do this. So, that was a big thing. The salary schedule is the one, in which we've already gone over with you guys. So nothing has, really changed. I think we have reviewed most of the things. That is the big one, that I wanted to point out. It was updated to Bridge, the Bridge Health Alliance. Travis, went through it. He caught like a typo for me, which I appreciated. Appendix 4, the final one, is our teachers did ask that the current teacher evaluation tool be included with it, absolutely. And really what that states is I just can't now arbitrarily go, oh, I'd rather do this now. You know, that's fairly standard in that.
Do you have any questions on the changes? No? Alright, do I have a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement with the Lincoln Education Association, MFPE, for 2026-2027 school year?
I will make a motion to approve the master contract between the Board of District Trustees and the Lincoln Education Association for the school year 2026 through 2027.
Sarah has a first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds. Public comment? Board comment?
I really appreciate a very pleasant negotiations here in Lincoln. But I'd like to maintain that. Even if we disagree, it was still very pleasant.
Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Great. So discuss and approve new classified salary matrix.
Okay, so, don't freak out, but, okay, before you start looking at this, there are no additional dollars put on there that we haven't already talked about, but I have restructured it somewhat. Would you like to explain it? Yeah, I didn't have it there. And so, our current, I would call it, a salary, schedule that just went like 1 through 40. And it didn't give you any, so this, we have a history of whatever, so our current one gives the employee a 3% increase in their pay annually as long as they don't get down to year 40, okay? That's been in place for a while. That's the same here, okay? Also, the past practice, as far as I could tell, is after certificated folks have bargained a raise to their schedule, classified also got this. So that's embedded here. So our cell on certificated, that is the starting, our base pay for certificated went up 3%, and then we give a $1,500 movement per step and column. So each year they go down $1,500. For Joni, that doesn't represent another 3% because she makes a lot more than other people.
Been here too long.
But it is, and it's slightly more than a 3% if you're in that lowest spot, but it averages out. So our teachers got a 3% raise because of what we changed that cell number to be from the previous year. And with the $1,500 step, they got approximately, if you kind of average that all out, another 3%. So their pay will be 6% more than it is this year. Okay, does that make sense? This does the same thing. So the raise to this is 3%, but it also includes what's in there, the 3% on the steps. So it's also a 6%. So that's what you're looking at. The biggest thing here, and I'll sit down to make sure people don't freak out, you're putting me back at step one. Okay, it's only a step. It has nothing to do with your years of service, okay? So I feel very uncomfortable if we don't, hopefully everyone will stay, so while I'm your employee, I don't have to deal with it. But if Derek left and he's got two guys that work underneath him, I have some work to do with our job descriptions and stuff like that, and maybe some titles. I have nothing in the salary that tells me where to start him. He oversees other employees. I don't believe it's an entry-level position. So I took all of our current classified positions and I put them in a Class A, Class B, Class C. Then what I did was I go, okay, what are we paying our current people and what will they be making next year? And so I took assistant cook and a custodian and I put them in a Class A, an entry-level job. Paraprofessionals at a Class B, and our maintenance, our building secretary, and our head cook who oversees someone, I put them at a Class C. Regardless of any of those classifications, then I go, okay, where can I start them? So I would have our Class A folks start at step one. Our Class B folks start at Class 3, so 2 steps down, minimum. Like now, I couldn't hire them for less. You know, I'd be obliged to this, even though we're not working with the bargaining agreement. And our Class C would start at step 5. But by where the people are currently on the salary schedule, they aren't, you know, they don't get, I'm not arbitrarily giving individuals raises. It's so then they next year on their pay stub would stay step 1. It has nothing to do with seniority or years of service for the districts. It's just realigning them to our new salary schedule. So it's just, so if I go out there, I am like, and I have a potential good candidate, and like 12:30, and you expect me to oversee a department? No, and what it also gives is a little bit of flexibility for, this is the minimum you can start, but we can start you, depending on experience, at a higher level, up to 5 years. I couldn't go beyond that unless I go, geez, guys, I'd really like to hire them. They come with a boatload. I'd have to come to you guys and ask for that. That is typically what I've seen in the past. And so I looked at this, not to jump around too much. Julie's daughter called me ADHD today, but when I looked at this and what we pay people hourly, and I finally got a hold of Drummond's, and I finally got a hold of Peepers. Okay, so I had something like, okay, what we pay here is ridiculously lower. That's the bad news. If you take our benefit package, we pay more. So just, and know that's true for our certificated. So I was, oh man, you know, and not, you know, always compared to Drummond, but it's close. It's approximate. He's got more experience in this state, so been very, very helpful with, you know, questions I have. Great guy. And they pay more per, you know, sell and stuff like that. 10 years, look at that. And I typically go, what do you make there after 5 years there versus here? What do you make after 10 years, expecting somebody to move over those? Gosh, they're always up like $2,000, $3,000. But then you throw in so if you take our family package for your insurance, we contribute as a district $1,600 a month. They contribute $1,100. Okay, that's $500. That's $6,000 difference. All of a sudden, that looks a little bit differently. So I don't want to do this, but we're doing pretty good there if you look at that as a variable. One thing I'm not ready to attack yet, it would affect some classified folks, is it skews it, if you're a classified person who's custodial in 12-month a year, you have the same benefit package, or we don't prorate our benefit package as a para who works 10 months a year. Does that make sense? So your compensation on that para is actually exceeds that by quite a bit. A lot of times you would see places that would then, you know, prorate that. We'll pay that for 10 months, but if you'd want that, you'd have to pick up, you know, the other 2 months on your own. That'd be kind of rough to do overnight, you know, that might be one thing we want to consider over time. Also in this, we had talked about, we have 2 less instructional days next year. If you're on a salary, hey, great. If you're hourly, you just lost 2 days of work. They requested, they don't get Presidents as a paid holiday, and I can't believe Montana doesn't celebrate Veterans Day. It just blows my mind. So they asked for 2 additional paid holidays, and so I'm recommending President's Day be a paid holiday, Veterans Day be a floating holiday in which they will take, as long as, we always take the Thursday in mid-October, that's the MEA Day. I know it's a junior hunt day too, that's kind of cool. And so I'm saying that, you know, we say, yeah, we would pay that, but you will take it, you know, you will take it here as that. So it's floating, but it's, you know, they don't get any choice in it. You know, so that's the big thing here. Everything else is on our current one. If we hire a paraprofessional that's got a teacher endorsement, they get paid $1 extra an hour. That's on our, that's currently written. So, sorry, I haven't let you guys look at that now. So. Note that all the suggestions here are also ones in which Darcy and Carol have made sure that moving forward. You need more?
No, she can, Julie just passed them down.
You want a copy of your contract?
Sure.
You have any questions? Or discussion? Thoughts? Do I have a motion to approve the new classified salary matrix?
I will make a motion to approve the new classified salary matrix.
Julie has the first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ruby is second. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Alright, discuss and approve district clerk's salary matrix.
Okay, so I'm gonna recommend here, and kinda a little bit on the same line, but, I would like it, that everyone here, except for the superintendent, have, so right now, what you've approved, everyone has built-in steps to their salary, with the exception of me and Darcy, okay? You leave.
I know, it's awkward.
Darn Darcy. But anyway, and so what you've approved is roughly equivalent of a 6% increase in pay for all your employees except for Darcy and I. I've made it clear, I've signed a 2-year contract, we're sticking with the 2-year contract, and we can talk in the future about that. However, Darcy does not have any steps, and I think everyone but the superintendent, who negotiates their own contract with you guys, independent of anyone else, that be there, and so, like, you know, Darcy, a great job, yeah, what, you know, da-da-da, but I think the position, we're not talking about Darcy, we're talking about the position, should have steps, and it should have the, you know, be kind of rough, you don't have to give her a 3% raise, everybody else got it, but I'm recommending that, plus I'm recommending steps. And so, Darcy would be back at step 1 of what I'm recommending, and, you know, it's not 6%, it's 5.7, based upon what her current salary is, which is more like what, you know, people who are getting in the mid to high, you know, mid-50s to higher 60s, that's what the because I'm putting on there that it's a $1,500 step, you know, per, you know, you could, what happens is, if you do a major salary schedule, like with your teachers, and you go down 25 years, if you do a percentage base, you'll lose control of it down here. Like, you know,
I'd be making a lot of money.
yeah, love to do that with Joni, so that's why I did, it's the same $1,500 steps that our teachers have, and then it also, in writing, says, once bargained, the position would get the same, that's certificated, which you also have for your classroom. So that's where I'm recommending that, and Darcy would be at step 1, based upon this.
I'll pass down.
Don't ask me anymore.
Nope. Don't worry, guys, I got it.
Try to scan it and send it to them. Usually in these positions below the superintendent, so I did CBO and I added like an executive assistant. We went with like a 5-stepper, and then after that, you know, it has to then be negotiated. And you could then negotiate additional steps on top of that. But I'm a big proponent of not only great recruitment, but also great retention.
Great. Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the new district clerk salary matrix?
I make a motion to approve the new district clerk salary matrix.
Julie has a first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie, second. Public comment?
She's 100% worth every penny.
I know, I was thinking like, let's go.
Yeah, you guys have been crazy.
Keep going. Board comment? All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Yay. Thank you for everything you do, we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You're amazing.
Agreed.
Yes.
You know, I love working with a team that knows they're not perfect. She's close. No, but just works hard, asks great questions, and admits it when we make a mistake and keep moving forward. So, yeah, it's love working with you.
Go team. All right, it is 6:38. We have nothing else on the agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Olivia is first. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm gonna give the one to Julie just because of like I took Olivia.
Perfect.
Public comment? Board comment?
We were having so much fun.
No, shoot. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You want me to press the button?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Burnett, you want me to
Oh,
press?
please.
I'm all leave.